There's a 1,000-year-old saying that suggests that you need seven things to properly cook in your kitchen, which are 柴米油盐酱醋茶, namely fire, rice, oil, salt, fermented sauces, vinegar, and tea. And even nowadays, that's a pretty good guidelines for what you need to properly make some Chinese food in your kitchen. And for us, as we just moved houses, we have none of those things. So, for this video, we thought it would be interesting to show you how we approach the problem of stocking up a new kitchen for Chinese food outside of China, as we are in Bangkok right now, so that you would also know how to fill up the basics next time when you're at your local Chinese or Asian supermarket. So today we'll take the subway down to Yaowarat, Bangkok's Chinatown, and see what we can get there. But before we leave, there's one thing that we need to look at that's in our kitchen and not what's in our pantry: fire. Now, I should clarify that the character chai actually means firewood because in the old days and even now in some villages, woks are heated up laying inside a firewood stove. Nowadays, of course, the majority of people in China cook with gas on a home stove that usually comes in from 11 to 15,000 BTU. And in our kitchen here, it comes with one of those stoves, so we are good to go. But these days, we know more and more people in the West are stuck with induction burner, which is kind of annoying, but not a deal breaker. We will recommend two routes for that. Route number one, you can get a large, like actually large nonstick skillet. We got one that's 16-inch. Works fine. We've stir fry on that before. Completely okay. Route number two, it's that you can get a cheap butane camper burner. That when you need to stir fry, just put it on top of your stove. The one that we always use in our video, it's an Iwatani ZA3HP. Holds a round bottom wok perfectly fine and pretty cheap on Amazon too, if I remember correctly. So that's our fire situation, and now we can head over to Chinatown. So, first thing to grab at the market, rice. As we're in Thailand, of course, we'll get the famed Jasmine rice, cow home mali. If you're in the US, you can also just pick up Jasmine for Chinese cooking or cow rolls, which is kind of similar to the one that they use in the north. In addition to rice, if you want to live some northern lifestyle, might as well get some flour. Luckily, we found this brand that we really like. This is finely milled ramen flour, but you can totally just sub this with Italian 00. So, category number two, yan, salt. You can use whatever salt that's handy to you. Doesn't really matter. But when cooking Chinese food, you usually don't just season with salt. You use salt, sugar, MSG, and we already have some of the other stuff. So now let's just grab some salt. This is the same salt that you would get in China. So category number three, oil. For general cooking purposes, we would recommend using peanut oil. If you're making Sichuan or Southwest food, Caiziyou, extra virgin rapeseed oil would be preferred. But abroad, it's very difficult to find, and we still haven't been able to find one yet. So we're at the same boat as you. So right now, let's just get some peanut. Now the price here, it's back to my childhood time where oil is expensive. Also, speaking of which, if peanut is expensive, for general deep frying stuff, just get whatever oil that you can get. So, number five, we are doing jiang sauces, fermented sauces. first things first, soy sauce, and we'll see what else we can get. So first sauce, soy sauce. The basic fermented sauces, bean based. So let's get that, and then we'll also get lao chou, dark soy. So besides soy sauce, we'll also need something that's soybean fermented based sauce. Because it's like the base for many Chinese sauces, and we will be looking for something that's mostly just purely soybean and salt, so that when we need it, we can add other seasonings and spices to mimic other regional variations. So we'll be getting 面豉, the Cantonese 面豉. You can also get the northern style 黄酱, yellow bean paste, or aki miso, Japanese red miso. They're kind of similar, so you can use it interchangeably in many occasions. And if you're cooking Sichuan food, you can't not have fermented broad bean paste, 郫县豆瓣酱. So right, number 6, 醋, vinegar. We will be getting some either 香醋 or 陈醋, because they can generally be used interchangeably in most cooking scenarios. And then this may need to be in a different category, but if you are cooking Chinese food, you will also need some liaojiu, aka Shaoxing wine. So the last category, cha, tea. This is kind of an awkward category because we have so much tea at home, but we do need to pick up some dry ingredients. So let's go grab some dry stuff, and first, spices. So now that we are at the spice shop, we definitely recommend you pick up star anise and Sichuan peppercorn. They are the two ingredients in Chinese 5 spices and used everywhere, not just in Sichuan cooking. Also, when it comes to dry food, definitely pick up some dry shiitake mushrooms and dry shrimps. These two are 2 umami-rich ingredients that's used a ton in Cantonese cooking. Now this is all of our stuff, and now we're just gonna go grab some food. So the dozen things that we got today should be able to get you started with cooking Chinese food, but we actually end up getting more. So for a more comprehensive list of things that you can fill up your Chinese cooking kitchen, check out the description box. So right, as always, a big thank you for everyone that's supporting us on Patreon, and don't forget to subscribe for more Chinese cooking videos.